Let's go really quick on this one. So a standard car is usually not going to be doing this, right? But you can do this, so be careful here, right? You can run a lower compression in a diesel if you're willing to run a port injection. Port injection is fine as long as you understand that you have to burn, so spark ignite, before you get to top dead center pretty decently ahead of time to increase your compression and start burning ahead of time. The heterogeneous mix of your diesel then gets mixed with your your air fuel, since you're going to run a little leaner, right? And so you got nitrogen oxides that you're going to use. All right, now that gives you an extra bump, but you need to duct it. So it needs to spray the right way onto your duct to then get wicked off and mix into a venturi. So that little spray has to then get wicked into that little throat of your nozzle, right? For a Bernoulli principle, like a propane burner. It draws in air and it mixes it, and you can get your necessary bump of power, but also your reduction of emissions. The thing is that this means you can do this and never roll coal. Yeah, you can't roll coal with this. So anybody that's out there that wants to roll coal, that's never going to work. Same thing for reverse. So if you port inject, which is pretty weird, because on a diesel, it's like, you can do that. Give me a second. I know, crazy, stupid stuff, but if you only allow for a small amount of that air to come in, but the majority of it is diesel, then you need to get your methane injector. They have these are just simple injectors, but you can soup them up basically by increasing your fuel rail, or because they're meant for methane or propane or whatever, but you can put higher pressures to them. Now those higher pressures are a really big deal because you can only go to a certain point in that rail, right? But you can modify with a quartz nozzle, right, at the tip that handles higher temperatures. Okay, that means this is going to be your air. Yeah, that's what you're going to run into. Like, it's only just enough to start a little bit. You're going to spark ignite it anyways because it's lower compression, right? Fuel, meaning it just wants to go anyways. But you're cooling your engine, right? Then you can burn the rest of it. So you'll never be able to roll coal ever again. However, you will always get more torque and more efficiency by doing this. You will always be able to achieve a better result than anyone that might ever even tune that shit, because you can burn both up towards and then down from top dead center. Now, as you get towards middle dead center, that's your max. You can't go past that because it has to decelerate. Your piston has to decelerate. So that means you can only go a little bit further max. And those are for race stuff, because that does have to decelerate, but it still provides a little bit of torque, a little bit fast, but not much, barely anything, right? Same thing for if you want to make your VGT a little better, you can alternate if you know how to do ECU timing and tuning, right? Where you can wait to start the spark and everything until after. It'll still provide you with a little bit of breakdown of that diesel up at the top end. It'll still burn a little, but as it goes down and it comes up and it recompresses, you can open up your exhaust and go start your spark, right? And then that gets it going really fast into your VGT or turbo. Now that means you have to alter it. So you have to alternate. If it was a inline 6 diesel, you'd have to make sure to run through all 6 cylinders and alternate. Yeah. And it gives you a stupidly high amount of no turbo lag, but for the cost of a much higher heat in your exhaust. So that's why we alternate. And you don't always need it, right? It's only really on racing, again, applications where it might not even be necessary, for sure. But it allows for you to sustain your engine for longer. It's not going to cause the same issues as it once was, which is great.